Okay, so imagine this. A pop star who isn't, well, real. Not in the usual sense. Created with software and freely available images.
Exactly. We're talking about Ima Grace. She, or rather it, dropped a debut EP called Fake back in February 2019.
And that's what we're diving into today, this whole fascinating project.
Yeah, and we've got some good stuff to go on. We're looking at info from the creator Ryoma Maeda's official site, his own notes on the Fake album, lyrics for a couple of tracks, Stand By and End of Capitalism.
Okay.
Plus, there's a news piece from Odo Towai that announced the EP when it came out.
So the mission here is really to get inside the thinking behind Ima Grace and Fake, right? Look at the themes, how it was made, the whole backstory.
Precisely. It's like an unusual approach to this virtual singer thing. It really blurs the lines between what's real and what's digital art.
Definitely. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. How did Ima Grace even come about? What was the initial spark?
Well, according to Ryoma Maeda himself, it sounds like it started quite simply. He wanted to make songs with vocals, but instead of, finding a human singer, he decided to build one. A virtual idol, as he put it, using VOCALOID software and, crucially, copyright-free photos.
Wow. Okay, so the visual aspect was planned from the start using stock images.
Yeah, and that's key, especially when you look at the Fake EP cover. It is a stock photo.
Huh.
And Maeda makes the point of saying, look, the person in this picture, that's not who's singing. It immediately signals that this whole thing is constructed, artificial.
It really leans into that fake title then, right from the cover.
Absolutely. It forces you to confront that idea straight away.
Yeah.
What does authenticity mean here?
Okay, so let's get into the music itself. Stand By seems like a good place to start. I heard there was an earlier version of this track floating around.
That's right, yeah. Before the EP, an initial version of Stand By was put out as a free download on the Free Music Archive, I believe.
And what was that like? Was it similar?
Actually, no, it was quite different. The interesting thing is that first version used the actual lyrics from Benny King's Stand By Me.
Seriously, the classic song.
Yeah. It seems like it was more of an experiment for him, a way to get comfortable using the Vocaloid software, trying out arrangements inspired by American pop and EDM. He mentioned it felt like less pressure than doing something totally original right away.
Okay, that makes sense, like a practice run. So for the Fake EP version, he changed things up completely.
Totally. New original lyrics and a completely different arrangement. The EP version is much more simple, minimalist almost.
How so, musically?
It's built around this simple repeating loop phrase. The whole vibe is meant to be smooth, kind of comforting. Maeda talked about how it uses a really straightforward chord progression that just repeats.
Okay.
And the structure, like verses and choruses, comes from just changing which instruments are playing or slight variations in the phrases. Doing a lot with a little, basically.
And this EP version, the Fake E version, it actually got some attention, didn't it?
It did, yeah. Ryoshi Imai, who's a well-known JPOP and R&B producer in Japan, actually reviewed the track on his YouTube channel.
Oh, wow. So it reached people in the industry.
Seems like it. Which is pretty cool for such an unconventional project.
Definitely. So what about those new lyrics on the EP version? What's the feeling there?
The lyrics shift to something more personal, more introspective maybe. It talks about wanting to hear someone's voice when you're sad. Walking by the sea, talking about the future.
Mm-hmm.
There's this imagery of feeling light, like flying like a bird when you laugh or sing, or even when you dream. And about playing music for someone and for the world.
It sounds quite gentle, almost comforting.
Yeah, there's a definite theme of reassurance, like not being afraid of the dark if someone stands by you, hope that rain might turn into snow, finding happiness in simple things.
Despite being sung by, well, a program.
Exactly. And it uses this direct conversational tone sometimes, like asking, have you eaten breakfast today? That creates this weird intimacy.
That's fascinating. But you mentioned something about bigger themes, too.
Yeah, there's a line that hints at dealing with a future collapsing because of war, but finding strength as long as someone stands by. So it's got that mix of personal comfort and wider anxieties.
Quite a contrast. Okay, let's move to another track. End of Capitalism. That title certainly jumps out.
It does, doesn't it? Maeda said the starting point here was actually wanting to create something with an 80s sound, even though he said it's not usually his main thing.
So like an intentional throwback.
Kind of, yeah. More like playing with that specific sound palette. He built the whole track around a very distinctly 80s style synth phrase. You'd probably recognize that kind of sound.
Okay, I can picture that. And lyrically. given the title.
Lyrically, it's completely different from Standby. It's this weird sci-fi story, almost dreamlike. The core idea is, well, ending capitalism and heading off to space.
Right. Just casual stuff.
Chuckles,
Yeah.
pretty much. The lyrics paint this really strange picture.
Like what? Give us some examples.
Okay, so it talks about a strange world without SoundCloud, which is a fun, modern touch. Plants that glow with red light. The narrator wanting to describe this scene to someone who's asleep.
Surreal.
Very. Then there's this violently glowing light that sounds like an explosion, this desire to escape the current world. There's even a mention of an Apple Watch, but dismissing it, saying it's not a religion.
Huh. Rejecting consumer tech.
Seems like it. Then it imagines listening to soul and disco music out in space. But it gets even weirder. Demons come into the house, cats playing soccer under the moonlight in this imagined world.
Cats playing soccer. Okay.
Right. Snow rolling over summer sky, bodies lit by polygonal light. It's very abstract. And it ends with this vision of all plants and animals singing together, plus that repeated line, end capitalism and go to space.
That's a lot to unpack lyrically. Very different vibe. Now, there are other tracks on the EP too. Can you give us a quick sense of those?
Sure. There's Non-Special Life. For that one, the idea was to make it guitar-driven. He imagined a complex band sound, but with riffs that were deliberately kind of chaotic.
More raw, maybe?
Possibly, yeah. Then Humming for You, which he said he was really pleased with. Aim for something simple, really good melody, apparently inspired by a summer evening in Da Nang, Vietnam.
Oh, nice. A specific atmosphere.
Yeah, and interestingly, years later, in May 2025, an answer song called Re-Hunting for You came out under his own name featuring Ima Grace, so he revisited that idea.
A sequel song. Cool. And the last one.
Girls. That one was meant to be dark and heavy. He mentioned loving distortion effects, wanting to push it beyond just pop, adding some explosive noise elements.
So quite a range across the EP, which brings us back to the whole concept, Emo Grace, the name Fake E.
Yeah.
It feels like the artificiality is the point.
I think so, absolutely. The name, the virtual avatar,
Yeah.
it directly pokes at our ideas of what's authentic in music. It makes you ask, what do we even mean by real when we talk about art now, especially with digital tools?
Does creating a virtual artist like this offer different kinds of freedom creatively?
Oh, for sure. You're not tied to a human performer's limitations, their schedule, their personality, even their physical appearance. The creator has total control over the image, the voice, the whole package. It potentially allows for, more conceptual or maybe even riskier projects.
It really does raise questions about identity in the digital age, how we see artists. So when did Fake actually come out?
The official release date was February 1st, 2019, on the Milch Records label.
And if people are curious to see this virtual artist, there are visuals.
Yep. There's a trailer for the EP and a full music video for Standby up on YouTube, so you can get a sense of the visual aesthetic that goes with the music.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive, Ima Grace and Fake really are a fascinating case study in virtual artistry, aren't they?
Definitely. We've heard about this diverse sound palette from pop to electronica to noise, all coming from this unique concept of a virtual idol, born from essentially a desire to make vocal music, but with this added layer of digital identity.
It leaves you with a lot to think about.
It really does. Especially now, as virtual artists get more and more sophisticated. How does that change how you relate to music, to performance? Does knowing it's fake or constructed make it better, worse, or just different?
Yeah, what does it say about where we're headed digitally?
Exactly. Does the fakery enhance the art or take something away? It's something to chew on. Maybe check out those videos and see what you think.
like rain on the green day. Music cannot stop. Love seems to me a breakbeat, but repeats forever. This is not a sad song. It's not a fun song either. It's a song that flows like water run, humming to hands joy, and let's sing a stupid song together. There is no wish, there is no heart. Let's sing such a song in a small my voice for you. Two hands join and let's sing a stupid song together. There is no wish, there is no heart. Let's sing such a song in a small my voice for you. Two hands join and let's sing a stupid song together. There is no wish, there is no heart. Let's sing such a song in a small my voice for you. Two hands join and let's sing a stupid song together. There is no wish, there is no heart. Let's sing such a song in a small my voice for you. Two hands join and let's sing a stupid song together. There is no wish, there is no heart. Let's sing such a song in a small my voice for you. Two hands join and let's sing a stupid song together. There is no wish, there is no heart. Let's sing such a song in a small my voice for you.